Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 9th of August. My name's Philip Kingston.
I'm Jeremy Rosens.
And Jeremy, I was about to call you
were
Gary.
going to call me Gary. I've been called a lot of terrible things, but Gary Pierre has had to be up there.
Do you know what? You're like a brother to Gary, but like a twin brother, tragically separated at birth.
Tragically.
Gary is still away, viewers, in case you're wondering why I keep having these anchors standing in for Gary, because he's still away, he's still on holidays.
Are we week 3, 4? What are we encroaching now?
I tell you what Gary does. You can say a lot of things about Gary, and people do, but one of the things that you can say is he does good holidays.
He does, but when he's in the office, he works at 1,000 miles an hour.
That is his story, and he's sticking to it. Yes, Gary likes to tell me that when he's here, he's super productive. In
very
fact,
efficient.
Very efficient, and that's why he's entitled to take the number of holidays that he does.
Do you go on holidays? Because I've never known you to be away at any great length of time.
Well, the trouble is for me, because I'm so in demand, I can only take these short breaks, so I can't do this whole European vacation over July.
Well, I don't know what I'd prefer, to be away in Europe or to be in demand. They're both pretty good, Phil.
Do you know what? I'd like to think that next year, 2023, I might do the Amalfi Coast or something beautiful like that in Europe.
I look forward to your Instagram posts.
With all of the rich and famous, the beautiful people that are flooding Instagram, letting us know that they're on holiday and we're not.
Yeah, indeed.
Speaking of holidays, Jem, July is traditionally quiet, but
Yes.
August is what we call a momentum month, the
catch-up
momentum
month
that we build into September, October, November. How do you see the year unfurling?
It has been a little bit more quiet over the holiday period this year, more than others, and I think that's got to do with probably a little bit of fuel to the fire from media outlets talking the market down, but I think it's going to ramp up. I can see that our listings are starting to come through. September's a uber busy month, pre-grand final, and I think October, November will be seriously busy this year.
And I think you're right, and just on a completely unrelated subject, I noticed that you're not wearing a tie today, and I am.
Yes.
I dressed up because you're described as sartorially elegant in our organisation.
Another great description, Phil, thank you.
Are we dropping the ties? Where's your feeling on this? When do you wear a tie now?
At auctions. So I read an article in The Age on Saturday,
Yes.
and you would have read it, where whoever the head guy of Xenia said the tie is dead.
Really?
Yep, he announced the tie is dead.
Dead?
Dead.
So all of this money that I've got invested in these beautiful...
you can resell them.
This tie that I just love, which is...
Let's not. Snobbery is not really...
Stefano Ricci, which I've had to sell a kidney in order to buy my tie collection.
It looks good.
So
they're saying the tie is dead.
Okay.
They're saying the tie is dead, but I still believe, and I've had this conversation with you, I believe the auctioneer, like a groom at a wedding, needs to be the best dressed person at the auction. Hence, I still would wear a tie. I'd feel very uncomfortable without a tie at an auction.
Yeah, so I'm still tying up for auctions.
Yeah.
I'm also, if I'm going to see an older vendor or an older buyer, I'm talking somebody perhaps in their 70s or 80s.
Yes.
I'm still putting on a tie just out of respect for
Let's
if
go
they
with a
are going with that
conservative
conservative. No, I mean, I think not that older people are conservative, but I think that if they have some of the older people have a view of corporate dress, so I'm just paying them that respect.
I do enjoy a tie, and I think it still has a... Personally,
Yep.
I'm not Xenia,
Yep.
but I believe it has a place, the tie.
Well, I think very clearly if Xenia, who've made a lot of money out of selling ties across the journey, if they're saying it's done, it's probably done.
You probably will see a new line of sports coats coming out with inbuilt, what are those things? The little pocket squares from Xenia. It's probably an advertising little reason why they said no tie, but it would be a tie selling killer.
So as we head into spring, I know viewers, you're probably thinking, is this a real estate show or is this just a show of fashion? But it is important. I'm increasingly dropping the suit and going with this, with a sports coat and different coloured pants.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on that?
I think that also has a place.
Yep.
And I think it looks terrific.
Yep.
I think it might be time, and let's get a bit of feedback from the viewers. I've talked to you about your pink jacket.
Yes.
And I love that pink jacket. It's a beautiful jacket of fantastic fabric. But
I feel like there's a butt coming on.
But it can only be used sparingly.
Yeah.
Because it hits you between the eyeballs.
Yes.
And if you're wearing it every second weekend...
Which I'm not.
Well, it feels like you are. That's how great that jacket is, that when you wear it, it feels like I've seen it before. Okay. I reckon it's like a 3 times a year type jacket.
It's a tick to the jacket, but be very cautious.
Use it sparingly.
My approach. Okay.
And I would probably avoid winter with the pink.
Oh, well,
I'd be doing it in the spring and the summer, Phil.
I did have a client say to me the other day, lovely salmon jacket. And I thought that was the ultimate put down. Let's get back to real estate.
Let's talk about houses and real estate.
I was very fortunate to conduct an auction for you on the weekend in Bentleigh.
Yes, Pascoe Avenue.
Pascoe Avenue, where it was just so pleasurable to sell a beautiful home. And a shout out to the owners of that property, because they really folled all of your advice. They presented it beautifully. It was marketed beautifully. And we had 3 people bidding for it. It was like an auction. 4 people. It was an auction from the old days.
And it was a busy crowd.
Yep.
And I can't figure out if it was all of the things that you mentioned, or is the market starting to show maybe some signs of improvement, or is it that location that drags lots of people to go and look at it? And I'm hoping it's the sum of all parts.
I think it is the sum of all parts, but I want to pick you up on something that you've just said, because I'm a firm believer in this. I think, look, clearly prices have dropped.
Yes.
But I think, personally, they've had their drop now, and I think that you're going to see steady as it goes from here. There's a couple of things in the marketplace. Like, if I had some money now, I would be buying land, because I reckon land's probably been hit harder than anything else.
Yep.
And I reckon there's some fabulous opportunities out there to buy land, knowing that it will jump up. Because the one thing about land, it's the first to drop, but it's the first to bounce out, and there's some great buying opportunities.
And as the famous American novelist, Phil, what does he say? And look down the barrel of the camera, because there's a very good client of mine who swears by this statement. Every time I see him, he quotes you.
Mark Twain, the famous American novelist, said many years ago, invest in land, they're not making any more of it.
Never a truer word spoken, Phil.
So to that viewer that watches that, if you want me to kind of record a message for you on your voicemail or something like that, so you can hear it on a regular basis, I'd be very happy to.
Do you know of these situations where famous people do quick recordings on birthdays
Fabulous.
And they get $20, $30, $50?
Yeah.
Any value in maybe jumping on that site and maybe just, would you like to hear from Philip Kingston on your birthday?
Do you know what? There would be a seriously good demand for that. Yeah. Thank you for the idea.
If we price it at about $2.
Thank you for the idea. Just want to talk about Bentleigh, because we've got an office in Bentleigh, which gets fed really from our Caulfield office, our Carnegie office, our Murrumbeena office, and increasingly St Kilda.
Yes.
So we're well positioned. Centre Road, Bentleigh is our office. But, take Pascoe Avenue as an example. Before the Pascoe Avenue auction, I had some time, so I drove very slowly along Centre Road, having a look at all of the cafes, the wine bars. There is a bakery that has been started, I think, by 2 French bakers, called the Artisanal Bakery in Centre Road, Bentleigh. Now, I happened to stop there. Their stuff, first of all, there's a queue to get in. I've got to love a bakery with a queue, even have the little rope. Their stuff is magnificent. I'm so into bakeries. Also, Loon, the famous Australian croissant, has opened in High Street, Armadale.
Delightful.
In the schmickest store. So I think bakeries are the new black.
It's a trend which fascinates me, and I am on record and will now go on record a second time. I refuse to line up for bread. I refuse to line, and how great can bread be? I mean, I get the whole lining up for bread.
Baker Blue.
I get it. I think it's more of a kind of a social scene now. It's like, were you lining up for bread? And their bread is great.
Yep.
But all bread is pretty great.
Do you know what? I couldn't disagree with you more. Great bread versus okay bread. Great bread just kills it.
Yeah, but people are lining up for okay bread.
Yeah, well, that's just stupid, isn't it? Soon there'll be a queue outside Coles for Sunny Crust White.
Can I just go back to a statement you said about Bentleigh? If you look at some of the sales that we've made, the prices in that area are phenomenal. If you go back even 5 years, we've just sold a 9-year-old townhouse, and it's a bit of a. We're going to be talking about it in a moment in Pascoe for 1.7.
Yep.
A 9-year-old townhome, great condition.
Yes.
But that's almost now the starting price for 3 or 4 bedrooms in an area.
Yeah. Well, look, I think people have really thought about these middle ring suburbs, and Bentley's a middle ring suburb, and they go, well, it's got a train station, it's got the most incredible parks, it's underpinned by some fabulous schools. Centre Road, Bentleigh, and I think the strip shopping centre is emerging now as community hubs. I think if COVID has done one thing, it's really brought the strip shopping centre to life. I think people have fallen in love with their local traders all over again, which I think is a really positive thing.
It is. The community vibe that has been lost is now back again.
And just a little bit about you. I was fortunate enough to go away for a conference where you and your lovely wife Mishi were, and I sat next to Mishi. Hadn't caught up with her for some time.
I'm not sure where this is going to go.
It's going to go to the fact that we've been together for a very long time.
22 years, Phil.
And you've now got your son Ryder working on a coffee van.
He does, and he loves it.
I love it. And we'll put a photo up if we've got one, but it's just to think we go right back to you as virtually a young man doing crazy things, going through the process of becoming a great salesperson, to getting married, to becoming a partner in the business.
I was a father
to now having a 15-year-old son that's doing work experience. I mean, we're paying him though. That's hardly work experience.
Pays a pretty. That's a. Well, I'm not sure whether we're paying him according to...
When is your daughter Indy coming on the van?
She's probably 3 years off van territory, but she's already asking you a few questions. We might get her out on the weekend for a few odd jobs, but it's very rewarding to turn up at an auction and see my son.
Speaking of the weekend, let's get back on track.
Let's get into it.
We had a 60% clearance across the weekend, which is not up to our normal standards, but the industry sold 53%.
I thought it was 52. You're being generous.
I am. I've upgraded the industry just slightly. So 52, 53 versus 60%. Again, we beat the industry average. Keeping in mind, viewers, the 40% or the 4 out of 10 properties we didn't sell, probably 3 of those will be sold within the next 10 days.
And some of them had offers on them as well.
Yes. So I think the market is finding its equilibrium now. So viewers, if you find yourself the house that you think you're going to be in for the next 5, 10 or 15 years, don't hesitate to jump in, because there is a small window of price opportunity for buyers. Let's talk about properties that we did sell across the weekend, Jeremy.
Yes. Well, let's do on what day did we have a midweek auction this week, Phil, in Oakley?
We did, and that is the most incredible property, 5 single-level villas. The property didn't sell, so it's still on the market. Get in touch with Graham Callan or anybody from our Carnegie office, because that is a great opportunity. So, Jeremy, let's talk about some of the sales across the weekend. Again, a lot of these property prices are undisclosed, so if we do refer to them, we'll just refer to the statement of information that was on those properties.
Yes.
Just choose a couple of properties and we'll talk about them.
One at 22 Sycamore Grove, Phil, Eastern Kilda, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, small courtyard. Was another sale, obviously the one that we started the show with, Phil, at 38 Pascoe. 4 bidders there. And ended up selling for $1,695,000.
And shout out to the vendors there who did just the best job on presentation. And presentation is so critical.
Yes, and it looked fantastic and a very photogenic home.
I want to talk about a property that we sold prior to auction. It was going to be my last auction on Sunday, number 27 Bambra Road. Whilst the price is undisclosed, statement of information was 1.3 to 1.43. This was a property that had huge interest, although we sold it on Thursday night, and you'll love this story. Lamore from your office was handling the property.
She was.
We had an offer. We triggered a pre-auction sale there. She was ringing through the file to ensure that we got to everybody. There was another buyer that said, look, we are interested, but we'd like to see it again. Keeping in mind this is 10 o'clock on Thursday night. She said, I'll meet you there in 20 minutes. So she met this buyer there, and they were the eventual buyer, but you've got to love the commitment of our team. Thursday night, 10:20, she's standing in this property. Thankfully, the property was vacant, but just great job by Lamore, and really just shows that our team is 24/7, 365.
Indeed it is. 4 at 1 Celeste, 4 at 10 Celeste Court, I should say, Phil, in Eastern Kilda. Nice little 1-bedroom, sold by Michael Jonas, again prior to auction.
Viewers, we sell a huge number of apartments in this organisation, so our sales in any given week can be from as little as $300,000 right up until $5, $6, $7 or $8 million. But the apartments, the 1 and 2 bedroom apartments, they are the little fish that taste so sweet for us, because this business was built upon the foundations of selling apartments.
They were, Phil.
Jeremy, let's talk about the weekend that's coming up. So it might be August, might be a little bit quiet, but we've still got 17 auctions this weekend, including one midweek, which we'll roll with now, which is number 358 Glen Eira Road in Elsternwick, Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock.
1,650,000 to 1.8. Limor and Nicky are selling this one, Phil. 4 bed, 3 bath, 4 off-street parking, double story period home. It's been updated throughout. I think this is going to be one to watch.
And fantastic location, walking distance to everywhere you want to be.
Is there a bakery though close by, Phil?
Well, there is. Little Sister in Glen Eira Road, which has now got a number of bakeries. And Little Sister, a little bit of a plug here, because I just love my bakeries, owned by a young couple, Glen Eira Road. They're also now in Winter Street in Malvern. Gorgeous, beautiful European style pastries. Oh, I've eaten a lot of stuff from Little Sister, so it is walking distance to Little Sister.
There you go. You can line up for bread.
There we go. Now we come out of the blocks. You and I and our other auctioneers will be busy on Saturday, but we kick it off at apartment number 6 at 10 to 12 Llaneast Street in Armadale.
560 to 610, Philip, 2 bed, 1 bath, 1 car. This is a great apartment. Modern inside and out, one to absolutely get your claws into. Whether you're an owner, occupier, or an investor, you cannot go wrong.
And I love that, because you literally roll out of your apartment in the morning and you can walk to Little Sister in Winter Street and queue up there for as long as you like.
I'm expecting the queue from Little Sister to be at our door handing us bread based on the plugs.
You'd hope so. And also at 10:30, we've got apartment number 213 at 163 to 169 Inkerman Street, St Kilda.
Lovely little 1-bedroom apartment, 1 car, off-street parking there as well, and of course that beautiful decking area, the outdoor entertaining, that's going to auction on Saturday morning, Phil, at 10:30. Looking forward to that.
We've got a very solid house, pardon the pun, at home number 1 at 8 Stone Street in Caulfield South.
Easy single-level living, Phil, in the ideal location. You're probably thinking, wow, what a wordsmith you are. I've stolen it from the copy. That is a fabulous 2-bed, 1.5 bath, 1 car with a great little front courtyard garden there as well. This is a great single-level home.
And Gary's got auction honours there.
Gary,
I know he'll be back. He might be speaking with an American accent. I will not be speaking with an American accent at 11:30 when I'm at 2A Seathorpe Avenue in Bentleigh East.
Be careful. That is a bit of a tongue twister when you're there on Saturday, Phil, to not mess that up. But 2-bed, 2-bath, 2 car. It's all the twos. In fact, it's 2-bed, 2-bath, 2 car. 2 good, 2 miss.
I love the way that you just talk in a most poetic way. Let's see what you can do with home number 3 at 16 Marara Road. You talk about it, but viewers understand this. It may well have a sold sticker on the board in the next couple of days.
Sold, Phil. This is Parkside. It's peaceful Parkside living. A stone's throw from Marara Road Park. You've got Princess Park not far away. 2-bed, 1 bath, 1 car. Great block in a great location.
It is. I love Marara Road. Speaking of Marara Road, we move from there to 12:30 to 2 at 31 Shepparson Avenue in Carnegie.
The Carnegie team are back at it again. Another fabulous single-level opportunity. 2-bed, 1 bath, 1 car. 730 to 800. This is a great home as well in a fabulous location.
Leo Samuel's got auction honours, and you'll meet Jack Slater there, who's doing so many wonderful things out of our Carnegie office. 33A Hunter Street in Carnegie gets auctioned at 12:30. I've got auction honours there, and I'm going to be meeting Leon Gusenfitter there.
Well, Phil, you can use a very similar script and dialogue to what you did at Pasco, because this is a very nice modern townhome, 4-bed, 2-bath, off-street parking for 2 cars in a coveted Carnegie location.
Well, it's also in the McKinnon High School zone, and if you can get your kids into McKinnon High School, many people will tell you that it's as good as a private school, except about a 30th of the cost. So that's why a lot of people are buying into that area. But that's a great piece of real estate. I look forward to doing that auction. Also at 12:30, because we've got 3 auctions at 12:30. 234B Grange Road, Carnegie.
1.4 to 1.5 here, Phil. And if you miss the one in Hunter Street, get on down to Grange Road, because this is obviously one of the better townhouses that are on the market at the moment. Great location and well-built home.
And the fabulous Jan Dawson from our Bentleigh office has been handling that property, and Gary's got auction honours there. We head with Graham Callan, who just loves Edgar Street North, apartment 5 at 75 Edgar Street North in Glen Eira.
He would want to be having a Christmas party or an end-of-year function for the Edgar North people.
Close off the street.
Very good to him. 440 to 480. Fabulous 2-bedroom opportunity here. 1 bathroom, 1 car in Glen Eira, a suburb that we have somewhat of an affinity with our sales
Well,
team.
you've got auction honours at 2:30, which is our last 2:30 auction for Saturday. But you've got auction honours in your hood. Apartment 2 at 5 Milton Street in Elwood. Ben Eisner has been doing the heavy lifting there.
Ground floor updated, 2-bed, 1 bath, 1 car. This is great Elwood opportunity. If you're an investor, you can set and forget, I should say. And if you're an owner-occupier, you're just around the corner from that Brighton Road strip with all those fabulous restaurants.
Yeah, there are. They're great little cafes, great little restaurants, great Turkish restaurant there. I've forgotten its name, but it's
called,
great.
It'll come to us. Clearly, we're not going to be looked after at that restaurant based on our lack of information.
Well, we are giving you a general theme. Head to Brighton Road for a Turkish meal and you won't be disappointed.
But before you have your Turkish meal, Phil, you really need to go to 42A Brighton Road.
Yes.
On the other side of Elwood, in the Rip and Lee variety.
Yep.
This is peaceful. It's private,
yes,
and it's perfectly positioned, just up from the Grosvenor Hotel, opposite Milton Street in Elwood. This is a fabulous home on a good-sized block of land where you can enjoy all that Ripponlea and Elwood have to offer.
That will be auctioned on Sunday, the 14th of August, of course, and that is at 11:30, and I've got auction honours there. At 12:30, we've got 2 auctions. One is home number 2 at 6 Sylverly Grove in Caulfield. John Sweepo is doing the work there. Gary is doing the auction. I love Sylverly Grove. Tell us about this.
Well, this is one of those classic mid-century homes, Phil, with a beautiful renovation inside. It is fantastic and one to look at because it's been beautifully renovated. It has the most ideal floor plan on a nice compact allotment.
And north facing at the rear there, Jeremy. So that is a really good home.
Sunshine in the living area, Phil.
12:30, Jeremy, 320 Inkerman Street, St Kilda, handled by Darren Crongold and his team. I've got auction honours.
A more charming period home you won't find, Phil. A double-fronted Victorian in a great location, the corner Alexandra Street and Inkerman. Milk bar around the corner, Carlisle Street cafes, restaurants, bakeries, a gentle stroll away, Phil. This is beautiful East St Kilda period perfection.
I think, Jeremy, a Victorian facade is probably the number one architectural style that stands the test of time, and that is a perfect example. We have home number 2, which I think is a fabulous property. Gary's got auction honours and it's being looked after by his son Daniel. Home number 2 at 15 Edinburgh Avenue is special.
It is a special home, Phil, and don't be fooled by the 2 at 15 because this is a family home with generous proportions. And my favourite bit is in the summertime, you can just walk out to that backyard, strip your clothes off, keep your things on and get into the pool. Well, a lovely pool there.
Or not, whatever is your fancy.
You can just gaze out to it.
Or whatever is your fancy. But you're right, Jeremy, because it says home number 2, but it's freestanding. It's got no connection to the other property and it's a standalone home with a swimming pool. And that's why we say home number 2, not unit number 2.
Low maintenance living, Phil.
We finished the weekend at 1:30 with 173A Bambra Road in Caulfield. Now, I'm going to talk about this, Jeremy, because I've been through it many times. Congratulations to our developer client there who just does the best job. And this is a real testament of what good development looks like. It's got a wonderful floor plan. It's completely luxurious. Great spot there in Glen, in Bambra Road, and I'm really looking forward to doing the auction.
These guys nail it every time. They really do. It's a simple process and it's a beautiful home and it will, no doubt, be well bid for, I'm hoping.
A couple of properties that we just want to highlight as feature properties. I'm just going to talk very briefly about number 14A Winston Drive in Caulfield South, being handled by Mark Kirkham, and you've got auction honours on it.
Well, this is great architecture, Philip. This is a beautiful looking residence here, side-by-side townhome. It's exceptional living. The lifestyle's fantastic, the location's fantastic. We've got Princes Park not far away, shops on Glen Huntly Road, a gentle stroll, and finished with impeccable style and taste, this one. It'll be one to view and hopefully you can buy it for yourself and your family.
It is a beautiful property. I'm going to talk about Wenden Grove, number 2 Wenden Grove, which is a period home on a north-facing parcel of land.
Good parcel of land.
A really good parcel of land, maybe a new home site. Townhouses subject to council approval, or just as importantly, it's a home that you can move into and it's a home that you can further update, improve, go out, go up. But Wenden Grove and that pocket of East St Kilda is just the most sought after position.
So many options, Phil.
So there it is, Jeremy, another busy weekend coming up and August will become September, October in a heartbeat. We've got 2.5 more weeks or 3 more weeks of this ugly winter before it becomes springtime.
It's feeling like the edge is off.
Well, you know, Melbourne will always tease you though, won't it? It'll give you a couple of sunny days and then dump snow on you.
There'll be football finals before you know it. There'll be spring racing, and then before you know it, it'll be the end of the year.
There we are. Book your summer holidays. Ring your favourite travel agent. Let's get the country, let's get the world started and move on from this whole silly COVID story because real estate is back and so are we. Thanks for watching. I'm Philip Kingston. Have a fabulous week.
I'm Jeremy. See ya.